The tech and digital sector back in 2010-11 was there. It was very disparate. Original concept was how can we create a hub where we'll bring people together, where they can spark ideas off on the walk down the corridor, the whole water cooler moments, etc. So we managed to start running online questionnaires. We ran workshops, which we jointly funded with KCOM. They were trying to find out what the future of business was. There was no point just building a building that we wanted the tech sector to use. We needed to work out what went on inside it and how we would grow that sector.
And so what they did was they brought together a whole bunch of people from the local kind of tech scene.
Of course, KCOM, because you can't do anything digital without KCOM's involvement in the area. You couldn't then, you honestly can't do that now. Put us together in a room and says, right, how do we make this work?
I think if you go back 10 years where it started, that's when we started to roll out our fibre network. So back then, fibre wasn't as readily available in the UK as it is today. And I think that's why the partnership when it started was so strong. If you look at how tech businesses survive, it's not just one of us. And I think that's what's so special about C4DI. KCOM can bring the infrastructure. We were the most connected city in the UK and still remain so. Whiteland, a fantastic property developer with the foresight to build the environment. And then C4DI, the way to bring the people together and businesses. Neither one of us would have succeeded on our own if we tried to do it, but actually coming together and forming the partnership that we have over the last 10 years has created something quite special here in Hull.
And so we started C4DI Beta a little over 10 years ago, in fact, based in this facility here. We kind of thought this thing's going to be gym membership for techies. So all the reasons why gyms would work. You'd have a membership, they wouldn't all show up at once, and kind of like fun stuff would just start happening.
And it was tremendously successful, so much so that doing what we call the beta in the area we're sitting now gave everybody, in particular Whiteland, the confidence to build not only the big C4DI building, but also the whole tech campus to leverage the sort of success in the early days we realised could come from us doing this right.
We started the construction of the building next door. We had some ERDF, European Regional Development Fund, grant assistance, which was probably about 20% of the costs, but the rest of it was our cash reserves.
So when we were based in here, we could look out of that window there and we could see this whole new fantastic phase one of the campus being built. The core of what we set out to do in that beta, or what we discovered in the beta, hasn't changed 10 years on, which is just how do you grow interesting technology businesses and make them better, and how do you link them with traditional organisations? And so what they're looking out that window, doing exactly the same thing, but bigger and better and faster, and also super privileged to be able to have Whiteland build that campus, that just attracts a lot of interest. And so naturally more people say, well, what's going on there? We want to understand more about it. And it helps tell the story and helps tell all the success that is around these businesses.
So when we first started off the C4DI, our narrative was very much about how can you be the next Uber? How can you be the next Airbnb? That whole story has changed now. And it's very much, the story is about if you've got deep domain knowledge, if you've got incredible knowledge of your industry, then we can help you to leverage technology to use that knowledge to create whole new businesses. If we look across at the C4DI now, some of the best businesses across there, one might be run by an ex-bricklayer, another run by an ex-electrician, another run by an ex-printer, another run by someone from the fashion industry. So what we do now, and this is far more relevant, is we take people with deep domain knowledge and we help them to use that deep domain knowledge of their specific industry to leverage technology to offer new services, faster services, cheaper services, more comprehensive services in the industry that they've got the knowledge of.
So I think the USP that C4DI has got is that connection between traditional organisations and tech businesses. We see businesses here accelerating working with large organisations that would have taken them 10, 20 years to get, and they're now in 2 or 3 years building deep relationships with them. And so that acceleration of those sorts of businesses has been huge. I think the other benefit of it is as these businesses get bigger and develop and grow, they in turn become mentors and kind of advisors for the businesses before them. And so that whole ecosystem sort of accelerates itself and helps other businesses grow.
There's not many places I've been around the UK that have this level of innovation and digital skills as a centre in a campus type environment here. They need to bring customers and clients into the centre to innovate and work with them. The only way you do that is to be able to connect to them seamlessly, instantly, and that's what we can provide to them. And we've done that since they started 10 years ago.
Phase 1 was the C4DI, Phase 2 was 2 more buildings, Phase 3 has been 1 more building, and the last building, which we're just finishing at the moment, it will be the 5th building. Got a base in an old, fabulous listed building up in an old prison in North Allerton. They've got a base in Poland, they've got a base in the Midlands. We can see it growing, and those different areas of the C4DI blossoming and working together.
The stuff that is most exciting is looking at some of the businesses that didn't even exist. 10 years ago, the people kind of running the businesses now had never even thought about running a technology business. Just looking and seeing businesses growing, creating jobs, creating wealth, creating impact in this region.
If you just look at over the last 10 years how this campus here has grown and continues to, the new building's going to be open very soon. We're celebrating 10 years. I can't wait for the next celebration. You know, even when I'm here regularly, seeing the different businesses coming through, you see many more international brands now using the C4DI team, using our infrastructure to innovate and take their products forward. It is very rewarding to see how that growth has happened over the 10 years, and you know, I'm sure there'll be more to come.